I've never said why me with HIV. See, that's not who I am. I deal with what has happened. So it happened, I dealt with it, and I will continue to deal with it. That's who I am. I just got to keep moving forward, you know.
Hello, I'm Lee Hawkins of the Wall Street Journal, and welcome to the Business of Celebrity. NBA legend and entrepreneur Magic Johnson bought a piece of the LA Dodgers recently, and now he's launching a new television network as well as a prepaid credit card. I had a chance to talk to him about both of those ventures, and we also had a chance to talk to him about his basketball career. Here's the interview with Magic Johnson. Great to have you here.
But thank you for having me.
You've been a really outspoken advocate for offering products and services to communities that have been overlooked, where there's still a profit to be made.
Right.
Two investments that I want to talk to you about. First is the Aspire TV network. It really interests me because it does target African Americans. Right now you have BET, TV One. Oprah is not targeting African Americans, but she does have a network. How are you learning from the struggles that OWN has had?
Well, I think that, first of all, we don't have $400 million to spend. That's number one.
Okay.
So number two, we got to stay in budget. Aspire, we know BET dominates young people. TV One screws a little older than them, and we're going to be older than them. And so I did my focus groups. They told us they wanted more family content, more family programming. That's what we're going to bring. Smart programming like this show.
Can you give me an example?
Well, I think that when I grew up, my family, we sat down, all of us, to watch Good Times, Sanford and Son, all those shows that were out at that time, and we're moving on up.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, and all that, you know. And so we want to go back to that. And this show right here is a prime example. This would be great on my network. This is a smart show. You know, you're smart. You're educating people and your audience, and that's what I want to do. I want to bring some smart content to the African American community. The whole platform, this Aspire platform, will allow now the creative community of African Americans to now showcase their skills and talent. Think about the actors and writers, directors, producers who are now out of work or don't have enough platforms to get work. So Aspire will allow them to showcase their skills and talent.
This is one of the great frustrations in Black America, because people look at the videos and the choices that they have, and they say they're limited. How do you deal with the challenge that when you do something Black, that it's got to be all things to all people? People want the Black Entertainment Network to also be the Black Executive Network, the Black Education Network. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think that, you know, first of all, you got to know your audience and what's going to be your niche, and who are you, and who are you speaking to. And I think that Aspire, we want to, that's the name right there, is we want to inspire the community. We want to showcase people who haven't been on TV. So we're going to show people playing a young lady who is a pianist, and she can play the piano, classical, and we don't get to see that. We're going to have performing arts. You don't get to see that. We got some short films that we partner with the Black Film Festival that hasn't been seen yet. So all these things are going to happen, and it's going to be positive for our community. And then we're going to hire a lot of African Americans to work at Aspire. The Coca-Cola Company believed in us, Chrysler, Walmart, Nationwide Insurance, and then L'Oreal USA. So they all said, you know what, I believe in what you're doing. I know that we want to speak to those people who you're talking about. That's why they all sponsored our network.
And also the Magic Card, which is, would you call it a prepaid credit card?
Yeah, it's a prepaid credit card, debit card. And I think that, you know, when you think about the unbanked and the underserved, we have to do a better job of first help them understand financial literacy, understand what really having a debit card is all about. So you become empowered when you have that card, and so that's what we want to do, empower them.
I remember when I lived in Detroit, and you had at that point invested in a Starbucks right in the inner city of Detroit, and they were playing Temptations and actually playing Black music.
Right.
in these stores. Why was that important to you? Why is that so much of a big part of your strategy to reach these communities?
Well, because we want options and choices too. You know, when you think about retail options in urban America, they're few. And why is it that we have to struggle to get a supermarket in our community? We want fresh fruit.
Well, the perception is that it won't be profitable.
That's right. But that's the wrong perception, because if you look, most of those stores make a lot of money when they come and invest in our community. But, you know, we have to twist their arms to come to our community. And then once they get there, they make a lot of money. So we want to make sure, and I want to make sure, that I continue to drive these big retailers in our community. Not only is it a shopping option, but also jobs for the people who live in those communities, because those stores may have 100 or 200 jobs for the people who live in those communities.
You're the master of partnerships.
Yep.
And maybe that comes from dealing with these high-achieving athletes on the court and making them all work together, because that doesn't always work.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been blessed because I believe that you bring something to the table and your partner bring expertise to the table. And if you merge those two together, those two incredible companies and brands like Starbucks and Magic Johnson, you can hit a home run. And so I built my business on partnerships. I will continue to do that. Why do you have to reinvent the wheel? Just go what's been successful. If that brand is successful and you've been successful, coming together, you give yourself a great opportunity to be successful. And then we're bringing something great to urban America.
When I interviewed Bob Johnson once, he told me that he had a friend who told him that if black people owned all the businesses in America, there would be no need for antitrust laws because we don't get together on anything. Now, that was a very harsh comment, but is there a problem with partnerships in black America among high net worth individuals?
Well, I think there had been a problem, no question, in the past, because we typically have never come together to do anything, right? But I think that the landscape is changing somewhat.
And what's changing that? And what first of all, where did it come from? And what's changing it now?
Well, I think that, you know, we were so busy trying to get it on our own. We were trying to be successful ourselves. And so those who were before me struggled so much to become successful. If you think about Earl Graves and John Johnson of Jet Magazine, I mean, you can keep going. All of them struggled through the 60s and 70s, discrimination and the racial tension that was there. And so what you did was you fought for yourself to be successful. And so now you know that there's a chance for myself to partner with a LeBron or partner with Bob Johnson or somebody, and that I'm bringing something to the table, finance, expertise. He's bringing finance and expertise to the table. So now we can come together and build something that's great for ourselves and our two brands, but also for our people too at the same time. And you're starting to see it so slowly but surely, especially when you think about the hip hop world. Now you got two guys coming together, doing albums, going on tour. Jay-Z and Kanye, and on and on and on. So
and even behind the scenes, you know, I had Chris Lighty and Blue Williams. That they're the two of the biggest managers in hip hop music, and they joined their companies. This is a group that is, you know, typically criticized for a lot of the things, but they have shown some leadership in the area of partnership.
Well, you have to remember now. This guy called Magic Johnson probably had a little bit to do with everybody coming together because I built my business on partnerships. And so if you think about what's been going on now, more and more forces are coming together. And it's good for the next generation to show them that we can work together and we can make money together and we can put people to work of color.
The Dodgers. Now that's another, you have a stake in the Dodgers. When you look at majority owners, however, there's only one, Michael Jordan, who had to buy the team from another African American. Why aren't there more?
Well, I think first of all, you have to remember that you have to have a lot of capital, and I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what you're worth, but how much money you actually got in the bank.
Right. It's a big distinction.
It's two different things. And so, as we talk about how many African Americans actually got that type of cash, you know, and so Michael's done a wonderful job. You know, I had to write a $50 million check, you know, and so when you have to write that and still have other things going on, can you still have those other things going on and still write that check?
Especially like when you may not make your real money until you sell the team.
Exactly. See, and so, so I think we will own teams. More of us will. I think it's something that we never looked at before or dreamed about before. But Bob opened the door, passed that torch on to Michael Jordan. Now he owns the Bobcats. I've owned a piece of the Lakers, now the Dodgers. Do I have to be a majority owner for me? No.
But do you see yourself doing that one day?
It's not a big dream of mine.
Okay. Why not?
I just want to be successful.
Okay.
I'm a person who like to have a lot going on.
Okay.
And I like to play in a lot of different fields. I don't think I could ever be bogged down with one thing.
Okay.
That's not
and that
my
would
style.
require that.
Yeah. Because if I owned it, I want to be the best, and I want to win championships.
You can't be doing your ESPN and everything you're doing.
And that's not who I am either.
Right.
I'm going to be devoted to it. So I have to have my hands in a lot of different things, and that drives me. That makes me hungry. That's what makes me get up in the morning. I'm passionate about my company, what I've built, and I'm passionate about where I'm going to and where I'm growing to, and I have a sustainable business model, and that's what's important to me.
I want to thank you again for coming in, and the business of celebrity is that much better because you came in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm Lee Hawkins with Magic Johnson. We'll see you next time.
The man, Lee is the man.